What they were meaning in translation, purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Param, the Supreme, Padam, situation, Vaishnavam, in relation with the personality of Godhead, Amananti, do they know, Tat, that, Yat, which, na iti, not this, na iti, not this, iti, thus, atat, godless, utshitshavaha, those who desire to avoid, vistrijya, giving it up completely, Dauratmyam, perplexities, Ananya, absolutely, Savradaha, goodwill, Hrida Upabhuhya, taking them into his heart, Arha, that which is only worshipable, Padam, lotus feet, Pade, every moment. The transcendentalists desire to avoid everything godless, for they know that the supreme situation in which everything is related to the Supreme Lord Vishnu. Therefore, a pure devotee who is in absolute harmony with the Lord does not create perplexities, but worships the lotus feet of the Lord at every moment, taking them into his heart. Please repeat after me. The transcendentalists desire to avoid everything godless. For they know that supreme situation in which everything is related with the Supreme Lord Vishnu. Therefore, a pure devotee who is in absolute harmony with the Lord does not create perplexities, but worships the lotus feet of the Lord every moment, taking them into his heart. In the Bhagavad Gita, Madhama, my abode, is mentioned several times. And according to the version of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, there exists the unlimited spiritual sky, wherein the planets are called Vaikunthas, or the abode of the Personality of Godhead. In that sky, which is far, far beyond the material sky and its sevenfold coverings, there is no need of the sun or the moon, nor is there necessity of electricity for illumination. Because the planets are self-illuminating and more brilliant than the material suns, pure devotees of the Lord are absolutely in harmony with the personality of Godhead. Or in other words, they always think of the Lord as their only dependable friend and well-wisher. They do not care for any mundane creature up to the status of Brahma, the Lord of the universe. Only they can definitely have a clear vision of the Vaikuntha planets. Such pure devotees, being perfectly directed by the Supreme Lord, do not create any artificial perplexity in the matter of transcendental understanding by wasting time in discussing what is Brahman, what is non-Brahman or Maya. Nor do they falsely think of themselves as one with the Lord, or argue that there is no existence of the Lord separately, or that there is no God at all, or that living beings are themselves God, or that when God incarnates himself, he assumes a material body. Nor do they concern themselves with many obscure speculative theories, which are in actuality so many stumbling blocks on the path of transcendental understanding. Apart from the class of impersonalists or non-devotees, there are also classes who pose themselves as devotees of the Lord, but at heart maintain the idea of salvation by becoming one with the impersonal Brahman. They wrongly manufacture their own way of devotional service by open debauchery and mislead others who are simpletons or debauchees like themselves. All these non-devotees and debauchees are, according to Vishwanath Chakravarti, Duratmas, or crooked souls in the dress of Mahatmas, or great souls. Such non-devotees and debauchees are completely excluded from the list of transcendentalists by the presentation of a particular verse by Shukadeva Goswami. So the Vaikuntha planets are actually the supreme residential places called the Param Padam. The impersonal Brahma Jyoti is also called the Param Padam due to its being the rays of the Vaikuntha planets, as the sun rays are the rays of the sun. In Bhagavad Gita 14.27, it is clearly said that the impersonal Brahma Jyoti rests on the person of the Lord. And because everything rests on the Brahma Jyoti directly and indirectly, everything is generated from the Lord, everything rests on Him, and after annihilation, everything is merged in Him only. Therefore, nothing is independent of Him. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki Lakshmana Sundar ki. Therefore, nothing is independent of Him. A pure devotee of the Lord no longer wastes valuable time in discriminating the Brahman from non-Brahman, because he knows perfectly well that the Lord Parabrahman, by his Brahman energy, is interwoven in everything, and thus everything is looked upon by a devotee as the property of the Lord. The devotee tries to engage everything in his service and does not create perplexities by falsely lording it over the creation of the Lord. He is so faithful that he engages himself as well as everything else in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. In everything, the devotee sees the Lord and he sees everything in the Lord. The specific disturbance created by Duratma or crooked soul is due to his maintaining that the transcendental form of the Lord is something material. So we know Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, is wholly called as Cosmic Manifestation. The first canto is called as Creation, because it deals with how the universe is created, how the living entities are created. The primary creation of the Lord is mentioned. And second, this canto is mentioned as Cosmic Manifestation because here, after the creation, which is called as post-creation, has been described. So therefore, this is not called as again creation. The first canto is mentioned as creation. So in this second chapter, Shukadeva Goswami is answering the questions of Parikshit Maharaj. This whole canto has almost 10 chapters. So in every chapter he is going to answer one by one. What is the purpose of Bhagavatam? What is the glories of Bhagavatam? And secondly, that how one can start his activities in accordance to spirituality so that he can elevate himself. So this is the very initial step where it is mentioned for the neophyte devotees, like especially it is recommended deity worship to control one's senses, one's mind, so that he can concentrate on the Lord, so he can attain the Supreme Lord. So a very vivid description of Paramatma is given in this chapter. We can see also the Lord's dress, what are the jewels he wears, and also Prabhupada mentions the smile of the Lord is so beautiful. And also there is a description of the height of the Lord which is in our heart. Prabhupada mentions that one purport that we need not search Lord everywhere. The Lord is residing in our heart. What is the form of the Lord in our heart? So what is the size? 8 inches. What is the size of our heart? Yes? Maybe like this. Yeah? This much. So this is greater than 8 inches or lesser than 8 inches? So now we can scratch our head. With our tiny qualification, So we can measure how this 8-inch can be inside the heart, which is not 8-inch. So Prabhupada mentioned this purport for this sloka in 2 phases. First phase, Srila Prabhupada deals about the people who are already confused about many aspects of Lord. Some people are there who are not bothered about who is Lord. Prabhupada is not speaking about them. In this purport, Prabhupada speaks about some people who know some half knowledge, who has some hodgepodge knowledge, who have some little faith but not having any knowledge basis. The second part of the purport, Prabhupada mentions about devotees. So what are the qualities of the people who are perplexed about the knowledge of the Lord? And second phase, what are the qualities of a devotee who doesn't get into perplexity after starting his devotion service? So I was just remembering in the year 2008, there was a conference held in Sriram Mayapur. Almost over 100 leaders of different religion from 35 countries had assembled to have a conference. This conference name was URI. It's called as United Religions Initiative.